Welcome to the another unit in our Basic Physics Skills series. In this unit, we'll talk about how to use Newton's law in vertical direction and how that may result into weightlessness. Let's start by looking at this problem. So in this problem, a person is standing on a scale so that we can actually read the force. So there are two things, one person and the elevator. So there are two masses. So depending on what we are trying to find, these two are going to be relevant in particular situation. The elevator is currently moving upward at a constant speed, but begins slowing to a stop as it reaches to the top floor. It starts slowing means now it is accelerating. The magnitude of this unit constant acceleration is this much. Okay, the acceleration is given. Calculate the apparent weight of the passenger and the tension in the elevator cable during the braking period. So two parts in this problem: apparent weight of the passenger and the tension. So let's talk first about the first part, finding the apparent weight. What is apparent weight? How does that arise? So it says apparent weight of the passenger. So that means object of interest is passenger here. For this part, interest is passenger. It's asking us to find what is the apparent weight. Weight of a person is mg. So let's say if I were to draw a free body diagram, weight of the person is mg, and we know that weight always acts vertically downward. And since person is standing on the floor of this scale, in this case, the force from the scale is a normal force. So person is pushing to the scale and scale is reacting back by applying that normal force. So action and reaction force, they are equal. So whatever the normal force is, that's going to be equal to the reading in the scale at that moment. So that means that is the apparent weight. So although we write n here, n gives the apparent weight. N also gives the weight. N is equal to weight when object is not accelerating. But when object is accelerating, in that case, what happens? The n gives the apparent weight. So when we are asked to find apparent weight of an accelerating object, what do we calculate? We calculate the normal force. So that means we are looking for normal force in this case. So this is motion along the vertical direction. Usually we represent the coordinate system as a y, and we can choose up as a positive y. Now, of course, we can also choose down as a positive y. Often, it's a good idea to choose positive in the direction of acceleration so that we don't miss the sign of the acceleration in the equation. Often, I see the students do that. But let's just use our usual convention in this case. Okay. Otherwise, I would first determine what would be the direction of acceleration, and I'll choose that as a positive. So maybe for the next part of the problem, we can use that. Okay. So in this case, object is moving up but slowing down. So that means acceleration is in the opposite direction of motion. And in the previous unit of one of these series, we have already learned how to figure out the direction of acceleration. Here, in short, let's say this is a velocity here, initial, and final velocity is shorter because it's slowing down. How short depends on how fast it is slowing down. So if I want to find change in velocity vector that gives the direction of acceleration, I draw them tails together. So this is my VI, and bring the tail of VF here and draw like that. And then what happens? Change we draw from tip of initial to tip of final. So this is the change in velocity. And since acceleration is change in velocity over time interval, direction of acceleration is same as direction of change in velocity, as the time is a scalar quantity. So that means acceleration is down here. So with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm not drawing acceleration on the free body diagram, but on the side I'll draw the acceleration so that when we write the equation, we can correctly write the sign of the acceleration. So acceleration is pointing down. So here we can list the things that we know. Here object of interest is person, and mass of the person is 75 kilogram, and looks like this is a 3 sig pig. And here elevator 1000 kilogram, but that is not the object of interest. And looks like velocity is there, but it's slowing down, it's changing. So it's acceleration that matters more than the velocity. So let's write the acceleration here. So acceleration is 1.5 meter over second square, and it is down. We already talked about here we want to find normal force. So that means we are using Newton's law in vertical direction. Sum of forces along the vertical direction is mass times acceleration in that direction. So in this case, sum of forces, there are only two forces, could not be better, right? N is positive. Why? Because it's pointing up, and we chose positive for the up. Okay, so that's why N is positive. And the mg is pointing opposite of positive, means it is negative. So that's the sum of the forces. Now on the right hand side, it is mass times acceleration. So acceleration in this case is pointing down, so the sign of acceleration is negative. Negative mass times acceleration. See, this is the acceleration in y direction, and this has value in direction. Value I am assuming as a, maybe value is just this, and direction down is there. And remember, we had to figure out the direction. We can solve for normal force. That's what we are looking for. So mg is negative on this side. When we move to the other side, becomes positive. ma is already negative. If we like, we can factor the mass out. So acceleration is given. We know the value of g. It is constant near the Earth's surface. So we can use that 9.8 meter per second squared. But before I do that, let's suppose object is in free fall. For fun, suppose the elevator is in free fall. So that means somehow the rope of the elevator is broken, let's say. In that case, what's going to happen? It's going to be in free fall. Say acceleration is equal to g then. Okay. When that's the case, then normal force is going to be mg minus, and since we are assuming a is g, the value of a is g, so that's that. All right, so this is 0. What that means? Normal force is 0, means apparent weight is 0. Object is said to be weightless. So the freely falling person gonna feel weightless because it's now accelerating at the same rate as the free fall. So although I'm not, suggesting you do it, but let's say if someone were to jump off from the roof, that person gonna be in free fall. In that moment, that person would experience weightlessness. Okay, the scale not gonna show any reading, means the reading gonna be 0. So that's what the weightlessness is. But in this case, we are looking for that problem where acceleration is 1.5 meter per second squared. Let me double check. Yes, so that means n is m, which is 75 kilogram, z is 9.8, 0, or simply 9.8. Acceleration is given as 1.5, means it's 2 sig fig, so we could just write 9.8 and then negative 1.5, and both of these are in unit of meter per second squared. So you see there is kilogram meter over second square, and that's what we call Newton, and that makes sense because normal is a force. Okay? So when we do this math, what do we get? 622.5. Now I have to round this to 2 sig fig, and that means I'm rounding it here, so that means it is around 620 Newton. If I was rounding it to 3 sig fig, then it would be 623. Okay, so that's how we find the apparent weight. So in the second part of this problem, it's asking for tension on the rope. So now, in this picture, we don't see rope. Rope is not attached to the person. Rope is attached to the elevator. So that means our object of interest would be, see here, even in the problem, it says tension in the elevator cable. So cable is attached to the elevator. So our object of interest is now elevator. Okay. So now we need to make free body diagram of the elevator. So that means weight gonna be mg. And when elevator is moving up and down, it's not supported by any surface. There is no push coming from surface on the elevator. Okay. So that means only force that's acting is tension, and this tension force is up whether object is moving or up or down, because rope or tension is never a push force, it's always a pull force. Okay, so acceleration is still down. Okay, so that is the acceleration. So in this case, where, see, we wrote mass as a 70 kilogram, but in this case mass has to be mass of elevator, because our object of interest is elevator, and I think mass of elevator was 1000 kilogram. Let's double check. Yeah, 1000 kilogram, and this is just that makes this problem just a 1 sig fig problem. Now again we can use Newton's law in vertical reduction. So now this time let's take down as a positive y. So how that's gonna change? So now again the formula is still same. Sum of forces in vertical reduction is equal to mass times acceleration in that reduction. Sum of forces, sum of tension, and mg. In this case mg is positive because we are choosing down as a positive. So tension gonna be negative, and that is equal to mass times acceleration, and this time acceleration is positive because we are choosing down as a positive. Okay, So now it's just a matter of plugging in number to find the tension. So I can bring the MA on this side, and that's going to be tension. So I can factor mass out and write like that, or I can just start plugging in number right there. Here, if I do it, I have to plug in mass 2 places. If I factor this out, just 1 place, and that seems more neat. So that's what I'm doing. So mass is 1000, Z is 9.8, and then acceleration is 1.5. And remember, in this equation, the acceleration is A is just the value. Direction, we already took care of that. So do not try to use that direction down here in the equation. Use that direction in free body diagram, and then while decoding this equation, expanding this equation. That's it. Okay. So that is the tension. And again, this is kilogram, and these are meters per second square. That's going to give us 10 Newton. So, and that's the unit of force. Looks like we get 8922.5. I am simply rounding this to 1 sig fig because mass is given in 1 sig fig. So that gives me just 9,000 Newton. Okay, folks, so that's how we use Newton's law in vertical direction. And by the way, we talked about weightlessness of an object. So object feel weightlessness whenever it is in free fall. For example, people in International Space Station, they are in free fall all the time. Okay, the space station is going around the Earth, and it is in free fall. Why it's not falling down to the Earth? We'll talk more about it when we talk about circular motion. But here, they are in free fall. So because of that, what happens? They feel weightlessness there. So it doesn't have to be just vertical motion. Object can be in a weightlessness situation even when object is moving in circular motion. So that's why in the Earth, we can design a lab where you feel weightless by designing or putting you in a circular motion. So that completes the weightlessness in the vertical motion, or how to use Newton's law in vertical direction. Happy learning physics.